Greetings to everybody. In keeping with our tradition, I'll start by bowing to my right, and then bow to my left. And having done so, honorable members, I would like to make the following remarks very briefly. Just to remind ourselves of the context, that we meet at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic is ravaging the world. South Africans have not been spared in all of this. Neither has Parliament and public representatives. New cases as of this morning are reported to be around 16,240, which translate to 27.5% positivity rate. The deaths stands at 516 new deaths, which increases our numbers to date to 68,192. There are recoveries that are around 2,098,818. Active cases stands at 160,462, and the total cases stands at 2,327,472. On our part as Parliament, we note the passing on of, amongst others, Dr. A.B. Ngomo, former Member of Parliament, National Assembly, Obrim, MP, and former National Assembly member. A few days ago, we were also burying Story Murutwa, also a former MP and a member of the National Assembly. Now I've heard of Miss Malulek, who's also passed on. Of course, we know that many others are getting infected. We also note the passing on of PCO officials and related or similar persons, people who are assisting us to do constituency work and related work in communities. Vaccinations, of course, centers are opened and they continue to do their work. What, of course, is also important is to know that in the context of the continent, work continues, albeit with whatever difficulties that are being experienced, including amongst others, vaccine nationalism. We call on all of us to observe COVID-19 protocols. We should stay at home as much as we can and avoid crowded places. We must wash our hands regularly and sanitize. We should also keep the social distance and wear the mask at all times. Do whatever we can to identify that this is done, and never lose the relevant and necessary momentum. Together, of course, we will prevail and we remain optimistic. So with these few words, let us just be reminded of our responsibility and all the kinds of things that we do now and in the coming period. Morena Bulukas Chabasa Yesu, God bless Africa. Having said that, honorable members, I will now request delegates to observe a moment of silence for prayer or meditation. Thank you very much. Honorable delegates, before we proceed, I'd like to remind you of the following. That the virtual sitting constitutes a sitting of the National Council of Provinces, that the place of the sitting is deemed to be Cape Town, where the seat of the National Council of Provinces is, that delegates in the virtual sitting enjoy the same powers and privileges that apply in the sitting of the National Council of Provinces. That for the purpose of the quorum, all delegates who are logged onto the virtual platform shall be considered present. That delegates must always switch on their videos. That delegates should ensure that the microphones on their gadgets are muted and must always remain muted unless you have permission to speak. And that interpretation facility is active, and that any delegate who wishes to speak must use the raise your hand function. Having being done with that, I'm told that there'll be no notices of motion or motions without notice. So we'll proceed, honorable delegates, we'll now proceed to the order of the day. Consideration of the select committee report on cooperative governance and traditional affairs, water, sanitation, and human settlement. Notice of intervention issued in terms of section 1391B of the Constitution 1996 in Umkanyagude, district municipality, dated the 6th of July 2021. I now call on Honorable TSC Dodovo to present the committee report.
Part of it and also
Honorable Dodovo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Allow me to present a statement on notice of intervention in terms of section 1391B of the Constitution in Mkanyakude district municipality. In October 2015, the Provincial Executive Council in KwaZulu-Natal took a resolution to intervene at Mkanyakude district municipality in terms of section 1391B of the Constitution. The decision was informed by the assessment for a number of years. The municipality had been limping from one problem to another. Problems had been indicated by persistent governance, financial and service delivery challenges that the municipality had been unable to resolve despite provincial and national government support. Since then, the municipality was subsequently made good progress, and in all key performance areas, the intervention was terminated on the 15th of November 2017. In spite of the measures by COGTA to support the municipality in terms of section 154 of the Constitution, the municipality regressed to dysfunctionality due to chronic internal divisions, amongst other reasons. Despite guidance, advice, and support In terms of Section 154, the municipality remained dysfunctional and regressed in financial management, oversight, and governance. There was frequent and persistent breakdown of council meetings due to internal divisions within the council itself. This was triggered by the suspension in the main of the CFO by the accounting officer on the 13th of February 2020, and again on the 11th of March 2020, due to alleged maladministration, fraud, and corruption. This triggered allegations, counter allegations of maladministration, fraud, and corruption by the mayor against the accounting officer, following the appointment of 3 security service providers in November 2019. The tension escalated further, and on the 28th of May 2020, the council could not pass the IDP and the budget due to internal divisions within the majority party. Hence, the current state of dysfunctionality calls for the re-invocation of Section 139(1)(b) of the Constitution in order to restore some aspect of internal institutional stability, sound financial management, and effective service delivery. In terms of governance and institutional matters, on governance and institutional matters, the municipality experienced challenges of frequent and persistent breakdown of council meetings due to internal divisions. This was triggered, as I indicated, by the suspension of the CFO. In terms of viability and management, the cash flow situation in the municipality has deteriorated over the last 2 financial years. Although management had developed a cash flow plan, there is no commitment and urgency to take decisions that are critical to the sustainability of the institution. The municipality doesn't have sufficient cash to meet its current or short-term obligations, such as payments to creditors. In terms of the internal control environment, several indicators showed that the internal control environment in the municipality remains weak. The management persistently failed to implement policies and procedures of the municipality, leading to the ballooning of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditures, which currently sitting at 2.7 billion rands. This points to a complete disregard of policy framework and procedures, and no regular reporting in terms of Section 32 of the MFMA. In terms of service delivery, although there is a use of consultants, the municipality's compliance with report on infrastructure program is described as inconsistent. The municipality doesn't have a planned and preventative maintenance program in place and no funds to finance such a program. With all this in mind, Honorable Chairperson, on the basis of serious challenges prevailing in the municipality of Kanyakude, the Provincial Executive Council resolved to intervene in terms of Section 139 of the Constitution at the municipality on the 27th of February 2021 by assuming the functions specified in terms of Sections 51, 54A, and 56 of the Municipal Systems Act, as well as those related to financial management. The Provincial Executive Council also authorized the MEC for COCTA to appoint a suitably qualified person to implement the following 10 requirements: to be a compulsory signatory to the municipality's primary bank account, to establish and appoint the acting chairperson on the interim finance committee to monitor the cash flow of the municipality, to ensure that the interim financial committee meets regularly and report nightly to the executive committee of council on the cash flows position of the municipality, so that also payments that approved, disapproved are ensured that are taken forward accordingly. To implement governance systems and procedures including oversight over the administration, ratification of decisions taken by the Municipal Council and Executive Committee and all the relevant authorities within the municipality, ensuring that the implementation of findings arising from any investigation into fraud or maladministration or corruption taking place. Given all of this, Honorable Chairperson, the committee engaged with both the internal and external stakeholders in the municipality to solicit their views in terms of the decision by the Provincial Executive Council to invoke Section 139 of the Constitution in the municipality. In terms of the constitutional procedural requirements, the Security Committee has noted that Minister of COCTA and Honorable Dlamini Zuma and the chairperson of the NCOP were notified of the intervention on 27th of February 2021, and the minister approved the intervention as such. The Select Committee further noted that the substantive matters relating to the invocation of Section 1391B of the Constitution revolve around the municipal's failure and challenges related to governance and transformation, financial viability and management, as well as service delivery. The subcommittee has noted with concern the failure of the municipality to implement the findings and recommendations of the 4 Commission forensic investigations from 2012 until 2019. The Select Committee has also noted that the MEC has commissioned an investigation in terms of Section 106 of the Municipal Systems Act. The investigation has been finalized and approved by MEC. However, the forensic report has not been tabled to Council due to Council's instability and collapse of Council meetings. The Select Committee has noted with concern for instability, non-compliance of code of conduct by councillors, lack of consequence management, lack of service delivery, non-sitting of meetings, and non-tabling of forensic investigation report. And lastly, the committee has noted all the political parties, including organized labor, support the invocation of Section 139 of the Constitution in the district municipality of Mukhanyakude. The Select Committee is of the opinion that the invocation of Section 1391B of the Constitution is justifiable on substantive and procedural matters as contained in the Notice of Intervention to the NCOP. With all that in mind, Honorable Chairperson, the Select Committee placed the following recommendations to the House: that the NCOP approves the intervention in Mukhanyakude District Municipality in terms of Section 139B of the Constitution, that the appointed administrator should, in line with the terms of reference, fast-track the implementation of the findings arising from any investigation into fraud, maladministration, and corruption, that the KwaZulu-Natal MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs should table the report of mission investigations in terms of Section 106 of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, that the ministerial representative from the Department of COCTA should work together with the offices of the Speaker and the Mayor to prioritize the passing of the Municipal Integrated Development Plan and the budget in the interest of the provision of service to the community of Mukhanyakude District, that the MEC should table quarterly progress reports on the implementation of Section 1391B of the Constitution, including the implementation of the findings and recommendations of the previous Commission investigation reports to the NCOP. And lastly, the Select Committee on Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs, together with the relevant portfolio committee in the KwaZulu-Natal legislature, should monitor progress in respect of the implementation of the recommendation of the Select Committee and the resolution of this particular House. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson of the House. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dodovu. Honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that the report be adopted. Before we proceed to voting, however, I shall allow provinces the opportunity to make their declarations of vote in terms of Rule 71 if they so wish. Just to remind honorable members, maximum time allowed for this is 3 minutes per declaration.
Honorable Chair,
Yes, Honorable Skagner,
Western Cape wants to make a declaration, please.
please proceed.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, the Western Cape DA adopts the report of the Section 1391B intervention of the Constitution in the Umkhankundo District Municipality, but raise our concern about the constant failure to implement Section 154 of the Constitution that speaks to provincial support and assistance to municipalities, as well as incapacity of administrators to restore the constitutional statutory obligations and address the mismanagement of incapacitated administrations. The fact that there are no recorded successful Section 139 interventions in South Africa is further proof that both the constitutional Section 154 and Section 139 interventions are only legislated documented compliance to the Constitution without results or consequences of non-compliance. The chronic failure of discipline and order amongst councillors to the constitutional obligations and the regulated legislation must be addressed by the said provincial administrations, and the said political parties should proactively ensure municipal governance disasters and the said political parties should proactively ensure municipal governance disasters are averted and that communities are protected from local government mismanagement and political infightings. The lack of support and assistance from the Provincial Department of COCTA is clearly seen in the lack of measurable results. It needs to be noted that the priority of compliance and discipline in implementation are vital to save our municipalities. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Skagner. Is there any political party that wishes to make a declaration? Honorable Bartlett.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Please proceed.
Okay. I'm just struggling with my video, Chair. Honorable Chairperson, the agency's vision for local government is located within the paradigm of a capable and developmental state, where the state is inundated with certain capabilities to mobilize domestic and foreign capital working together with other social partners to achieve the state objective of eradicating poverty, unemployed, and underdevelopment. In order to achieve the objectives of the developmental state, local government must be able to deliver the services to the local population in an efficient and sustainable manner. This improves the quality of life for local residents and creates a contempt for development. What is I have a problem with my?
Yeah.
I have a problem. Can I?
Yes, please proceed.
Okay. It is in this context that we stand in support of the Section 1391B intervention in Kunyakude District Municipality. This is aimed at resolving the challenges in governance, administration, and financial management. Due to internal divisions in council, there has been a failure to convene meetings in 3 consecutive tries. This has resulted in serious implications for service delivery and administration, which has led to crucial decisions not being made. The breakdown in governance has also led to important reports not being processed by council. This also includes the completed forensic investigations report and has compromised the fight against corruption, malfeasance, and maladministration in that district. Since the last Section 139 intervention, which ended in 2017 and produced good results, according to the Auditor General's MFMA report of 2019-2020, Umkhanyakude District Municipality has regressed in terms of its audit outcomes. There has also been a failure to respond to the Auditor General's recommendations. This intervention will allow the provincial government to appoint a representative. There's also been a failure to respond to the AG's recommendations. This intervention will allow the provincial government to appoint a representative who will take over certain functions as prescribed in the Municipal Systems Act, including sections 55, 56, and 57. The appointed authority will ensure that competent and capable human resources are appointed. They will ensure that the recovery plan is designed and implemented. This will be ultimately aimed at stabilizing municipal finances and ensure that crucial services delivery programs are well funded and executed. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bartlett. Any other person wishing to make a declaration? None. And this being the case, we shall now proceed to the voting on the question. And the question is that the report be adopted. I now call upon the provinces to cast their votes. And when called upon, heads of delegations must indicate whether they vote in favor, against, or abstain. They must indicate whether they vote in favor, against, or abstain. We'll start with the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape?
Eastern Cape support the report.
Eastern Cape supports the report in favor. Free State?
Free State votes in favor, Honorable Chairperson.
Free State votes in favor. Gauteng?
Gauteng votes in favor, Honorable Chairperson.
Gauteng votes in favor. Limpopo?
Limpopo vote in favor, Honorable Chairperson.
Limpopo votes in favor. Mpumalanga?
Mpumalanga vote in favor, Chairperson.
Mpumalanga votes in favor. Northern Cape?
Northern Cape vote in favor, Honorable Chair.
Northern Cape votes in favor. Northwest?
Northwest in favor.
Northwest votes in favor. The Western Cape?
Western Cape supports.
Western Cape supports.
KwaZulu-Natal.
KwaZulu-Natal,
KwaZulu-Natal iyayeseka sihlala.
KwaZulu-Natal supports, Chairperson. Apologies. KwaZulu-Natal supports.
And all the provinces have voted in favor. I therefore declare the report adopted in accordance with Section 65 of the Constitution. Thank you very much. Honorable delegates, that concludes the business of the day. The House is now adjourned.
Thanks, Chair.
Thanks, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
Recording stopped.
Long live the Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you.
Long live the Chair.
Long live the
Honorable
Chair.
Chairperson.
Long live.
Thank you.
Progressive one.
Long live the chair, long live.
Stay safe.